You know, the Bible teaches us that God has not given us a spirit of slavery leading to fear. Further, the Bible says that God has not given us a spirit of timidity. Now, many of us need this reminder, especially in this pandemic season, because there are many voices out there that are intending to make us fearful. Why is that? Well, basically, it's because the spirit of this age is driven by Satan, and Satan does want us to be fearful. But you know, our faith is an all-encompassing faith. And as such, our faith touches on every area and every aspect of our lives. You know, as I think about living faithfully in this pandemic, this week I came across a little chart. And let me just say that as we continue on in this video, my intention in this little video is simply to encourage you to gather with your local congregation. Certainly these words are intended most directly for the people of Parsons Baptist Church or other folks who are in the greater Columbus area who might attend Parsons Baptist Church. But hopefully these words will also be encouraging to others as well. Well, as I said, I came across this little chart this week, and the chart says that both unvaccinated people wearing a mask and fully vaccinated people not wearing a mask are safest, and that's the terminology of the chart. They are safest attending a small outdoor gathering with fully vaccinated and unvaccinated people. In other words, vaccinated or not, there is no reason for you to fear gathering with your local church in an outdoor worship setting. There's no reason for you to fear gathering with your local church in an outdoor time of fellowship. Now, when we move indoors, the chart shifts a little bit, and so I'm just going to share with you what the chart says. Again, let me stress this. I'm addressing the issue of fear. I'm addressing the issue of why you should not be afraid to gather with Christ's church. I'm not trying to address the question of to vaccinate or not to vaccinate. That's an entirely different question. It's a different issue. I'm talking about being afraid of gathering for worship. Well, anyways, the chart says, if not vaccinated, then you are less safe, and again, that's the terminology of the chart, you are less safe to attend a small indoor gathering of fully vaccinated and unvaccinated people while wearing a mask. It also says that if you're not vaccinated, you're at least safe attending a full capacity worship service while wearing a mask. Well, at this point at Parsons Baptist Church, when we gather indoors, everyone wears a mask. Not only that, but we are not yet at full capacity in our worship center. So, for those who have been vaccinated, the chart says that indoors, wearing a mask, whether that's a small indoor gathering or a full capacity worship service, if you're vaccinated wearing a mask, you are safest. So what's the takeaway for us? Well, vaccinated or not, our outdoor worship gatherings are as safe as we can make them. Vaccinated or not, there's no reason for you to be afraid of gathering with the saints for worship when we do so outside. Now, when we move indoors, which we will when the weather's not cooperating, we wear masks and we socially distance. Now, for those who are vaccinated, again, let me just say, according to this chart, there is no reason to be afraid of gathering inside with the saints for worship. So if you're vaccinated wearing a mask, there's no reason to be afraid of gathering inside. Now, the risk is a little bit greater for the unvaccinated, but even then, wearing a mask and socially distancing, there's no reason to be afraid to gather for worship. Now, if you want to see this chart for yourself, you can find it at the CDC webpage under the heading Choosing Safer Activities. So it's the CDC webpage, Choosing Safer Activities. But again, let me stress this. My point is not to argue to vaccine or not to vaccine. If that's what you've heard, you misunderstood what I'm saying. My point, however, is to encourage you not to forsake the assembling together of the saints, as is the habit of some. And my hope is to remove from you any reason to be afraid to gather for worship. Even more, my hope is to see you this Lord's Day gathered at worship at Parsons Baptist Church.